connection. And there we are, my good friend, Mr. Hayslip, aka Love Potion. You know him, you've seen him on the game a couple of times. He's a born killer on Call of Duty. Don't see him in the
I'm a
streets.
pacifist.
He's a pacifist. He's a lover. Congratulations to our good friend Smee on his baby. Let me turn this music off because some of my background's on my six. But congratulations, brother, on your brand new beautiful baby Kai. You know you got him at home. You've been doing dad duties, and like my good co-host here, Mr. Love Potion, he's been through the same. He's jumped through the same hoops. Let's say. Fatherhood is a beautiful thing.
Congratulations.
What do you say? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing, and guess what? It's a long road.
Yeah.
It's a long road, brother. You're only just starting, but hey, congratulations to you, sir. First of all, we want to say welcome to the Peach and Smee's Boom Boom Room. I know a couple of you get it misunderstood when you hear Boom Boom Room. You think it's some, gentleman's bar, but no, it's just a podcast. It's just a podcast. I hate to bust the bubble.
Any boobies here, I promise.
No, no, not here. But welcome to the show. We're bi-weekly now. We would ask if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe because we like talking to you as we hope you like hearing us. Jason. The week we've been on, it's been about two and a half weeks. We've been busy. Everybody's been busy. You've been busy. I've been busy. Smee's been busy. Smee's had babies. I've had politics. You've had no snow in Ohio, right? No. When's the last snow y'all got?
You know, it's funny. This past weekend it was 48 or 58. So look, it's one day. It's just the way that the weather is here in Ohio. But yeah, we're in the clear now.
You know, somebody in Texas.
We're in the greener passive.
Somebody in Texas would fight you right now because it's all of 88 and 120% humidity. You know.
So this is how do you guys change your roof? I mean, I always got a lot of questions, and I will always stand by that they make men and women in Texas. So thank you for living down there.
Well, I was
one of the greatest states.
We met somebody at a little patio, and they were traveling through from Ohio, and I had to let them know. I was like, look, one thing that you may not know is I just feel houses are built so much better in Ohio. Like Texas, it's just, cookie cutter house, and you go to Ohio, man, and it's like standing blizzards. It's withstanding all kinds of stuff. Down here we can, I guess in a sense, we have some pretty rough storms, but still you let about how many this is a wild question. I don't know if you know it right off the top of your head, but you've seen a thick coat of snow on top of a house. You know how much that probably has to weigh? Just big old block of ice on top of the house.
Well, that's why you're supposed to go up there and try to clean it off. They have snow blockers that kind of shutter that away, but you need to tell them how much you guys usually pay for a house for, let's say, 1,300 square feet. What's the price? Four bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. What do you guys pay down there normally?
It just depends really the area, but like right here, like 1,300.
No basement.
No basement. You're looking at least 140-ish, 150-ish. I mean,
1,300 square foot, right?
For 1,300, yeah. Now it just depends. Like if you're talking brand new, for sure, 150 easy.
What's the AC bill on that?
Oh man, so there was a wild trend going on not too long ago, like probably last summer, a couple summers ago, and people were just saying like, hey, if your AC's freezing up, because it's working hard, like all day, just 67. They actually had.
Let me hear that one more time.
No.
Hold on, ladies, calm it down now.
Yeah, I know. Somebody's hair stood up, but they actually had people, brother. They actually had people putting canopies over their I'm talking about Walmart canopies over their AC units. Just to keep the sun off. I don't know.
Just to re-object what's the AC? What's the price? $400, $500 a month? See, you guys don't think like that. That's a lot of money that goes down to AC units. We
I
don't
tell
pay
you what,
that. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, y'all are at the
You
point where you could pretty much just open your window and get a nice draft
yes.
going. See, that's like that's what's nice about Ohio is you get a nice draft going, dude. If we opened up our house, like it just gets sticky, dude. Like there's nothing worse than humidity. God, I hate humidity.
What?
I
Hey,
hate it.
what's that bug? The love bug. You guys have like bad down there, right?
Dude, we have a lot of bugs. I mean, I was just talking to a guy. I said, like, look, brother, the worst thing about camping, I would love to go camping. I seriously would love to go camping, but who in the flip is trying to camp in Southeast Texas?
Mm-mm.
It's not possible because the amount of mosquitoes, unless you're doing like the fall, but I'll do you one even better. I told the mailman today, he's driving by, I said, brother, I don't think we really got a spring. I think we've jumped right into summer.
Yeah,
You know,
I believe
demons
that.
be going to the storms out there in the Gulf. But
Well, you guys got hurricanes. It's called Gulf of America now. But just wanna, FYI. But I'll never
there's
forget
some
when I
people
was
that'll argue it's called Gulf of Texas. I'm just
it
saying.
should be Gulf of Texas. I don't know why. I mean, everything it's the Gulf of Texas. Anyways,
I mean,
I'll remember when I was down there in Athens, Texas, and up here in Ohio, you have beaches, right? You pay $20, you get on the lake. That's what it is, and then you jump in the lake, right?
yeah.
And I don't know if you heard the story. I've never talked to before, but I was walking around and I went to the boat dock lady. I said, ma'am, there's no beaches here. She goes, no, you're more welcome to jump off our boat dock. Well, shoot. Yeah. Cause it's 100. And right before I hit the door, she's like, hey, watch out for gators. And you just, in Ohio, you overthink that kind of stuff. I mean, a freaking gator, come on.
I'm going to
Anyways,
tell you,
it's just crazy.
there was one night where a buddy of mine, he was like, hey, we're going to go. And, first of all, now that I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking, and this is to shout out to my homie Smee. Shout out to my homie Smee because, and I'm not there yet either. And just as you, Jason, you're not there yet either. But the thing is like I remember he was like, "Hey, my dad's gonna let us take this boat to the lake." That is, and I'm talking about this is nighttime, an hour away, and so we were like 17 at the time. Am I gonna let my son do that? You best believe everything's air tagged. So we go to the lake. First of all, we break the keys in the boat. So we did get in trouble for that. But anyways, we go to the lake as just a couple kids, and what we see to look like, I'm talking about, you've been in the clearing business before, Jason. You know what a good tree trunk looks like. This gator looked like a tree trunk, and it was by far the biggest gator I've ever seen. And you say it doesn't hit different, but when you see a gator not in an exhibit, you're like, holy crap, this is like 10, 20 foot from the boat. And then all of a sudden that sucker goes down. Because once you start approaching, it just sinks under the horizon of the water. You get like, it gets a little nerve wracking. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, what does Ohio have though? I know we talk about crawfish and the difference. We got copperheads.
Yeah, but that's really what our main. I mean, we don't have stuff that wants to kill us. Like your water wants to kill you. You understand that? You jump in a distilled water and then you get that brain-eating bacteria infection. We don't have that up here, bud. Sorry, we don't have
a lot more. Y'all have a lot more rivers, natural flowing rock bottoms, right? No, we got to just. I don't know, man. I feel like
everything in Texas wants to kill you.
I know, but I feel like the settlers that joined up on Yellow Rosa, Texas, and Alamo was probably negotiating with Santa Ana and be like, dude, we'll let Southeast Texas go, brother. If y'all want to keep Mexico, just a small part of Mexico, and have that as Southeast Texas, you're more than welcome to. Everything else, you're getting kicked out. But like that's dude, Southeast Texas, it's just a rough spot, sticky spot, all humidity is always active. We're basically Florida, like Florida, Louisiana. It's just
people actually want to go to Florida. Oh my god.
Well,
Galveston's not that bad. I've never been there, but in South Padre, so you guys got some nice stuff. Plus,
well, speaking of, everybody wants to go to Florida. Like my boy, I knew you wouldn't get to do this, and a lot of haters out there, but like my boy. Oh, Quinn Ewers, baby. Shout out to my man. Finally, dude, the Tom Brady of the draft. And it brings me to a topic of view because it pertains you. And I was keyed
I know
up
what
just
you're gonna
like
go. I know
just
what you're
like
gonna
how
say.
yeah. You know where I'm going.
I'm gonna let you
Just
finish your go ahead. I want to know what you're about to say
yeah, and I
because
want
I
you to
had
know
that
your
too.
feelings. I want to know your feelings, okay? So just as the NBA playoffs are, I'm enjoying this whole NBA. I love NBA basketball playoffs. I don't like regular season; it gets kind of long, lengthy, like the MLB. But
Cavs are
I
still in
was,
it, by the way.
yes, sir, yes, sir. I'm pulling for him. I was keyed up to see the draft, and it felt like the most undrafted draft has ever felt because there's so many. And granted, some of these commentators are the same ones that's bashing LeBron for gassing Bronny up so much. But now you come to Shador Sanders, and they're literally lover boys. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm sitting here and it would be a pick where you would think a person, you would be like, and Shador could go here. Oh no, it is such and such. And they're like, man, that it blows my mind. This shit. I'm like, bro, can you just shut your mouth? And can you just let this man have his moment instead of being in disbelief? And we got drugged through that for 5 rounds. We got drugged through that for 5 rounds. And then ironically, and this goes to the point of my Ohioan buddy, he goes to the Browns after the Browns already picked a quarterback. And look, I don't know. I'm going to talk a little bit of sports. Don't lose me. It's hard to say that you waste a 3rd-round pick on a quarterback when you pick one in the 5th round. You know what I'm saying? You could have got some other quality there. It's not like Deshaun's washed up. But back to the point of, do you think that the fandom of these superstars' offsprings is getting too much? Because used to it, we'd been like, I mean, you didn't hear nothing like that with Michael Jordan's kids.
Well, no,
I don't know. But anyways, and then
yeah.
I want you to talk about just on the lines of a Cleveland Brown. We'll give you your platform because we know you're a Browns fan, rightfully so. Not too far
Well,
from Cleveland. How do you feel, sir?
So Browns are after the Baker Mayfield thing. You know how I feel about Baker, man. So I've
That's
been
fair.
kind of watching a lot of Tampa Bay. I thought Tampa Bay did some exceptional picks to try to beef up some of their areas that might need to be picked up. But back to the Browns. We're in need of a quarterback. We have one of the highest paid quarterbacks that has just robbed the Cleveland fan base. Deshaun Watson. I'll throw him out there because
Yeah, we
everybody's
sent
gonna
him
agree
from
with me.
Houston, bud.
Yeah, and we picked up your guys' trash, which he's got his own right path. Good for him. He's making $17 million. But so we're in need of a quarterback. I think what's going on with Sanders. I like him. I think he's a highly accurate quarterback. I think he holds the ball a little bit longer. But then you got to think he's had his father there the whole time. So I think that's the reason why a lot of the NFL coaches, and they're I mean, heck, this guy was making $4 million in college. You know that, right? He was making a lot of money in college. So I think he's an accurate quarterback. I think what he looks at is he's got his mentor, Tom Brady. He calls Tom a lot because Deion Sanders is his son, his father. So good. I like competition. I do. I think
so. I know that's what I'm, and just my little 2 cents is 2 cents in there is the competition aspect of it all in the quarterback room is really intriguing because I feel like Cleveland's saying we're going to find a quarterback this year, one way or another, by God.
Well,
and so I mean it's gonna lead to some fun, dude. At least a fun preseason. I mean,
absolutely.
Everybody tune into Cleveland's preseason.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I thought some of their picks have been. Look, man, I thought they nailed some of that. They got that good linebacker. They picked up a D tackle. So I think they're beefing up some of their stuff. They got some. I'm surprised that they passed up on Travis Hunter because look, this is what Travis Hunter gives you: a good cornerback and a good wide receiver. Probably you could look at a great cornerback and a great wide receiver. You see what I mean?
I like him playing both. I like him playing both, but just to say that you're going to give,
I can't believe we gave him up.
Well, just to say that you're going to give 60 snaps. Okay, I'm hypothetically using Miami, for example. Yeah, I know Jalen Ramsey's gone. None of that. But you're telling me that you're going to give 60 to 80 snaps
Yeah. In the NFL.
running routes against Jalen Ramsey and then come
yeah.
back on the field to give 60 or 80 more snaps trying to guard Tyreek Hill.
And
that's where I'm like, it's a little bit delusional. Like, I understand where your heart's at. You want to play ball.
Yeah. But Derek, Peach, I think sometimes they miss like the windows of opportunities for a quarterback in the NFL is like what, like this? I mean, it's tiny. Oh my God. And it's real quick. So that's it. I think it's going to change a lot from anybody.
So this is my only thing on Shedeur, and this is where I'll leave this at Shedeur. I think Shedeur, there's a small part of him that took some humility from this, because a lot of people are like, man, why is he falling so low? Why is he doing this? Why is he? Guys, come on. We are not.
You see some of the quarterbacks. Come on, dude. So let's
no.
I'm
about to get on that.
Got picked before
first of all, some of the quarterbacks that got picked before Quinn. My thing is, brother.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You have led Texas to back-to-back playoff appearances. If that play goes right, you're very much looking at a potential to be in a national championship and beating Ohio State. No offense to you, brother, but you're from beating Ohio State. You put Texas, the quarterbacks that couldn't do it before, you've kind of figured it out. And so it just blew my mind, not so much Shedeur, but when you said, okay, well, we're going to go pick that guy from Louisville. Brother, I've watched that guy. I watched Louisville when they played Miami, and that guy's a joke. He looks like a joke. And then you're picking North Dakota State. That's a joke. But 2 cents I'll say on Quinn, because I'm going to get back to the Shedeur topic, and then we'll round that one out. Quinn actually probably ended up in the best situation he could have ever gone to, because, and I don't wish injury on nobody, but Tua's about one more headshot away from being out of the league and coaching for the rest. And like I said, that's just the reality of it. I mean, he's faced multiple concussions over the last couple of years, and that's like, you can't ignore that. You can, and you know who Tua's backup is? Old mother lover Zach Wilson. So how serious is he taking that? So back to the Shedeur thing. Let's not be blind. It's not because, and I'm just, in all fairness, I'm being this podcast is common sense, and we see both sides of everything. I don't think
opinion.
It was,
a lot of
an opinion
there.
I don't think it was because he was an African American quarterback. I do think it was because there was some opinion. There was some opinion out there. I do think it was because his
number one.
And no. I know, but some people were saying that. But that was the argument. Now I will say this, Jason. I do think some of his dad's stature was influential of why he fell. And then 2, there was the New York Giants coach came out and said something. There was an anonymous source that said, and guess what? If you know Shedeur Sanders, you've seen him and you're like, there's no way that these rumors aren't true. He showed up to meetings, and they wanted to see him break down film, and he didn't come prepared. That doesn't look good. Disregard of who your dad is. Yeah. It's like Bronny James. I mean, Bronny James, his dad's only going to get him so far, and then one day you have to take that step up and be a grown man. Come to business meetings on time. Come to business meetings prepared. I do think that affected him in some senses. But anyways, I think he's in Cleveland where he's got a great opportunity. He's actually not going to be – he's going to be pushed as a quarterback, and I think that's going to make him excel. But, yeah, dude, I mean, I see Shedeur being probably the next I would say the next starter. I don't like Dillon Gabriel in particular, just because I saw him when he wasn't comfortable, and that's when he looked uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? There's some quarterbacks that – when the game and the lights get on, they thrive in those moments. And at times, Dillon Gabriel, he didn't look loose. He got more stiff. You know what I'm saying? And that's where superstar quarterbacks excel, when the team is, the quarterbacks are the point of consistency, right? They're making checks at the line to keep the ball going. So I think look, good pick for Cleveland, but that's all I'll say, and at the end of the day, there's crazier things out there. There's coffee beans being ate by felines. I mean, you tell me. So
yeah, I popped up this research, and you guys can type it in. You go to Google or whatever search engine, and you type in coffee beans, and it'll pull up coffee beans from poop. If you guys haven't heard this, it's the first time I've heard of it, but it's called Kopi Luwak, also known as a caveat to coffee. It's also that consistent of partially digested coffee cherries, which have been eaten and defecated by Asian palm, which is an animal, I think.
So these are particularly these aren't
No.
Asian cats.
Yeah, so but they're saying this is the most expensive bean, and it's supposed to be the best tasting bean. Now, mind you, Derek, here we are. We're sitting at a coffee shop. You know, me and my wife are good coffee people, and if I'm like, if you don't tell me, if I don't know, and I'm like, man, let me take a sip of this coffee, and I'm take this sip. That's a good coffee, all right.
Yeah,
I know it's not Folgers or a Maxwell House, but then you, Derek, you're sitting across from me, and you say, "Hey, Jay, by the way, you see that cat right there? Yeah, he crapped out that coffee bean." I honestly,
that's
I think
ocelot.
Yeah, I think there'd be a stern look and be like, "You should have told me that before I took that sip."
Now, to be fair, is it just any cat, or is it like a royal cat that they have like in a golden cage, and it's like golden eggs? Like you remember the goose that shot out the golden egg? You think it's like out of that, like it's a tame cat, or is it like?
Well, if you type
we just need
a couple
cats out here.
Yeah, well, it looks like a wild, like a weasel. It's I mean. Yeah,
can we be fair? Can we be fair? Because this is, and mind you, viewers, this is actually a real topic. And when I got wind of this topic, I was like, "What in the world? What in the flip is he even talking about?"
Yeah, but I want to know the guy. I want to know the guy who actually tested this out. Like, you know what? I want to, I just want to take this scat that's from this animal, put it in my coffee, and drink it.
I'll tell you the guy. It's the same guy that's going. It's the same guy that is going to a nice restaurant, and they'll be like, "Sir, you want the fried chicken or the caviar?" Yeah, I'll take the fish eggs, man. Give me the fish eggs. And can I have some of that cat feces?
Yeah,
give me some of that cat feces.
Give it all.
Coated in the beans, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Rich people, you get so rich, you get off to some weird stuff. Like,
no, I agree.
I mean, is it whole bean? I mean, I'm kind of intrigued to see a picture of it.
So if you look at the premium, it says that it's $300 for a small pack. $300. That's wow. Yeah, $300, and it looks
Starbucks.
Like
forgive me.
Yeah,
Starbucks. You don't. Yeah.
God, thank God for McDonald's being reasonable.
God, let me just share this real quick so we can get so people know we're not.
Yeah, you got to type in coffee beans. I'm sure it's going to pull up coffee beans from poop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to share the screen, but for some reason it's like it doesn't even want to try.
Hey, honey, you want this scat in your Keurig? You want this scat? I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this. You got a copy of that? No, you don't. I'm about to show on stream, and there you go.
That looks healthy.
Pop into our coffee beans. I mean, that looks like a
that
looks like a payday. Oh man, that looks like a payday. Some Turkish guys over there like ordering this from. Give me 2 logs of that coffee.
Yeah, this will get your motors running.
I wonder if it's some kind of I don't know what you'd get out of protein. Like, what is the kick out of it?
I mean, there's looks like some nuts in there. I don't know, some hair.
So this is it. Oh, you got some $800. No.
Oh no. See, these look like reasonable prices. I saw one for $230.
Man,
300.
Is this the cat?
That's
it. The animal.
The weasel.
Okay, so it eats it. It eats these coffee beans. I'm assuming these grape-looking things are the cocoa beans or whatever, and gourmet coffee, and then it produces scat, and therefore it turns into Kopi Luwak.
I'm sending it to everybody.
Yeah, that's
Christmas,
scary.
Guess what you guys are getting? I'm not telling you about it.
Just know if it's a log, don't touch it. Don't touch it. It could be feces. Yeah. Anyways, so you got a couple people. You got old Samuel Pickens over here. He said, "What's up, Jay?"
Hey, what's up, Sam?
Paige Hayslip says, "Hey, Big Daddy."
Oh God. Oh
Hail,
God.
hail.
Hail.
High hopes. Yeah. So here's my thing: is lead me into another conversation. So you get so rich where you get detached from the world at some point, and it kind of like as we see these, and women, please, y'all could comment if you feel some type of way, but you see these cases of
I want to know.
first it was the go ahead.
Well, look. You just. I want to know. Comment, Sam. Comment, wife. If you would take a drink of this coffee, and would you want to know? Like,
Yeah.
would you want to know about where it came from before you drink it?
Do you think it's a dark roast coffee? Is my question.
Oh yeah, it's definitely dark.
Man, that's potent. Man,
Whoa.
you really yeah, I know you really smell that off the brew, man.
Yeah. Now,
Woo.
and here's another thing. So if I drink it and I have to go, can you reuse it? Is it a recyclable one?
I
You know?
mean,
That's
what I'm
sick.
saying is what
That's
I'm
that's
seeing is scat is scat at the end of the day. So,
I mean, that's it.
but anyways, I mean, here's the deal though. It's like you lose like in our normalcy of where we're at in life. Slappy O'Connor. We're not eating fish eggs
No.
for $300.
No.
We're not eating weasel logs, drinking weasel logs,
Paydays.
paydays over there. And at the same time, though, is you see some of these rich people now, and we're not at least we know how to treat our women for crying out loud.
Well,
The thing is, what shocks me is, and I'll say to the case I'm getting to, but it's just getting like 2025 and 2024. We were like, dude, all these women beaters are getting out of here. We had
Mhm.
P. Diddy, we had the Jay-Z acclaims, we had this and that acclaim. Now we have Shannon Sharp's case. And to
The
be
kicker,
honest with you,
Justin Tucker too is getting involved with the
is he
Deshaun
really?
Watson. Oh yeah, he got busted. So remember, Baltimore drafted a kicker this round, and what they were talking about was Justin Tucker's under that whole Deshaun Watson style, where he would. Uh, I don't think they're
Masseuse,
massaging his. Yeah, I don't think
he'd
they're
go to a
massaging their
masseuse.
backs.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's
Well,
massaging
the
his
thing is
leg,
though, is so you have so here's the deal is this
his
is like I
kicking leg.
said, it's a show of common sense, so we talk common sense.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp, I rewatched the Monique interview, and Monique was telling Shannon Sharp, baby, you need to let these young girls go. You need to get you a thick woman that cook you smothered turkey wings and stuff like that. And at that point, we were like, yeah, ha 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 ha, hoo, 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 ha ha, funny. And all we know is now he has a case against some OnlyFans store. And it's a little weird because here's the deal. She is suing him for 50 million, which okay, a little bit different than P. Diddy's case, but this seems more premeditated by the woman. How do you feel? Because here's the weird thing is the lawyer that's representing the Deshaun case and Jay-Z case is now the same lawyer that's representing Shannon Sharp's case. Now, Shannon Sharp was fixing to have ESPN was fixing to throw him out some large number deal, right? And they just dropped this bomb. Now, Shannon Sharp, I don't think he's necessarily backing off of. I don't think he like Disney was like, because trust me, Disney will cut somebody in a heartbeat if you make them look bad.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, he stepped down from ESPN, which if you got allegations of that magnitude, you got to think. But I don't know where we should stand in all this, because some of them you're like, P. Diddy's actually on film beating the hell out of a woman.
Yeah, but you're so P. Diddy's case is it's multiple accusations. It's
I
kind of
heard
like
it's
an Epstein.
to be honest with you, I
There's an
heard it's
Epstein. There's
multiple genders too.
yeah. Well, and that's yeah. I mean, you don't have that. You don't have 1,000 baby lotions unless you're using them, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think we got to dissect them individually. I think P. Diddy's pretty much wrapped up into some rap conspiracy where there's gatekeepers like but
Yeah.
with Shannon Sharp, look, man, let's truly be honest.
Yeah.
D-Rec.
Go ahead.
If I'm calling you to get a massage, all right, and then I ask you, hey, and you proceed to to take that offense because I'm wealthy. Because you go to the bar, say that you're single, we're not wealthy though, but we go to the bar and we say, "Hey, you want to come home?" Now, are you going to say that? Well, I mean, that's exactly what every guy does on a Friday night that's single, and every woman. If you're going to a bar and you're staying past 12, you're doing the exact same thing what any single man is. But I think a lot of these celebrities. I don't know.
They're drinking catalogs.
Yeah,
They're eating caviar, and they're forgetting that stuff can kill you, bro.
The dang payday. Yeah,
that stuff can kill you. Look, I hate to tell you, if you are with, and condemn me if I'm wrong, but if you are with a girl that, and I'm not. Look, I'm not. I know
what do you think about Bill Belichick, dude?
Dude, yeah,
they're calling him a predator now. Some of the people at UNC.
As quiet as Bill Belichick is, I didn't expect him to pop up with a 25 and younger.
I thought he was a Saban kind of style kind of guy. Saban.
Yeah.
I agree.
But the thing is,
though, threw me off.
It's just so weird. Like me as a man and with a wife that I love dearly, and I know you is the same. I would be like, brother, I couldn't even in a single life seeing like, let me go after this one. Just some random and then obviously, but that's what I'm saying here. Let's go back to the term. Let's round this off at this term, because if you play with fire, you get burnt.
I know, that's a good saying.
You get burnt. Why? And this is what's crazy is why are you a guy like Shannon Sharpe? You'd be like, bro, all the sense. Like, I respect Shannon Sharpe. I still respect Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah, but do you think he did it? You haven't really.
I mean, you heard the audio clips. He was talking about choking her in public. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Look, if a girl's talking about hitting you for $50 million and you're fitting to get a payday, I mean, dude, it would kind of whiz me off too. Now, I don't know if I'd be like, hey, I'm going to choke you, but I would be like, this crazy woman, I need to stay as far away from this woman as possible. But he was going back and meeting her.
Yeah, but so... Do you feel, and remember, this goes back to like being famous. Do you think sometimes they lose their reality of what, see, we go to everyday things, like our everyday life and our stress is a little bit less, but like with them, do they even stress? I think sometimes the reality gets kind of skewed to like this is okay. Like I'm who I am, and their ego gets bigger than what the reality is, and I think it overtakes them. I think.
Well, so I listened to a Will Smith clip the other day, and I don't.
That's a good name.
Okay, yeah, I know that's a whole nother topic in itself.
Quality guy there.
And so look, Will Smith is. First of all, I think as we finish that, men are like deep lovers, and we fall in love with a woman. Sometimes we'll go head over heels, even if we're blind. So so Will Smith goes up there and slaps Chris Rock. Nobody agreed with it. Nobody. If you did, you're crazy. You don't slap a man in public. You meet me behind, and we talk man to man. You want to slap me there? Then let's get it on. Because that's when the gloves. That's the gloves are off.
Hold on. Just take a pause. Just short pause until I said. But nobody even pulled. So who's wrong? Who's wrong here? The fact that he did it out in public, or nobody pulled him off the stage and kicked him out of that. Think about that, bud.
That's an interesting take. I haven't heard that angle.
Yeah, who's wrong? Who's more wrong?
I don't even think anybody actually escorted him out of the facility. I think he just went back to his seat.
Yeah, plus he won that night, and he was never asked to leave. Like, so Chris Rock has to sit there and be like, man, this motherfucker. This guy
was that here's the deal. The Grammys, there's a lot of people that's not. It's just another stain on Hollywood. I think it's another stain on Hollywood and how broken it actually is. But the thing is, so I read he had a clip the other day, and I actually respected what he said. Is he was talking about how there's dual realities to all this, where how you say you hit rock bottom. It's like he
hit rock,
but that's the thing, though. Yeah, for sure. He did. Touche. Let's time out. Let's give that a moment.
Hey-o.
Let's give that a moment. Yeah, that's actually
I hit rock.
That's a good. Yeah, praise God for that
one. You hit Kid Rock, or not? Chris Rock.
So, but anyways, he was saying you hit rock bottom, and then he said also there's the flip side of it that nobody understands is when money and material things aren't enough. he called it like the top of the cliff. You go to the top of the cliff and you're like, none of this sustains me. Not materials, not women, not money, none of this. And so I at least respected that comment because he was saying you have to be happy with who you are,
Yep.
which maybe he'd been talking to a therapist and been like, well, your wife can't sustain you.
Well, yeah, but this is also, brother. We talk about this every day, all right? How many times that Hollywoodians, people that start making famous, there's leeches and parasites, and I bet you there's so many of those people in Hollywood that just leech off you and then just suck the core values out of you, your morals, because you've surrounded yourself with a bunch of leeches.
I think when here's the deal though, is
your moral compass is the most important thing
do
in
we
life. And
here's
your character.
well, and here's the sad thing, brothers. I don't actually know if we ever see like the real, like we see real talent, but like I bet you there's a lot of talented people that we've never saw, just because when you go and you're so desperate to get that gig, you're so desperate to get that contract, and then at that moment they say, "Okay, we'll give it to you."
Come to
But
the back room.
in return, we want all your morals.
Yeah.
We want all your ethics. We want all what you value. And we're going to install a totally new thing in you where you don't care who you hurt.
Yeah.
You don't care. Like the only thing is, are you willing to buy into our ideology?
Yep.
That's how I think it works. And it's crazy that, and the thing is though, is how do you combat it? How do you combat going against Hollywood? You watch all their movies. You see all like their entertainment, like to the whole world to an extent,
Yeah.
How do you combat it? But at the end of the day, it's the same thing it's the same thing. A new topic. It's the same thing over there. And I've watched, you have Pope Francis that just passed away. Brother, like, and this isn't a shot. First of all, Catholics, can we just realize that that Vatican Catholicism is totally different than what we have here in America, brother? It's so like I don't know how to feel when I see a holy man kissing a Ferrari, and a holy man. That there was in the biblical days,
and we talk about materialistics. They said this earthly possessions won't go with you into heaven.
Well, in the biblical days, so I'm watching all this after the Pope dies, and you have like 300 men in these robes and these nice stuff and this and that, and you're like, bro, it reminds you in the biblical days when Jesus was after like the Sadducees and was like, hey, you guys look the part, but you sure ain't it. I'm like, how, and not to mention the Vatican City itself. The Vatican City is only a Vatican City because it was actually, a state at one point, but Mussolini is the one who granted them that, like, hey, this is your country. And then to that, Mussolini was like, we're going to do deals in World War II. And then that's where the falling out with a lot of the Vatican City came, was because the Pope never came out and actually condemned what they were doing to the Jews. But not to mention all the artwork that was smuggled into I just don't understand like how that's but there's billions of them. There's billions of people that go to the Vatican, millions of people that go to the Vatican City. I'm not trying to bash Catholics. I just think I'm like, man, I don't even know how, there's so many. And just imagine, do you know they have to pick a new pope?
Yeah.
And do you know they pick a new pope out of the 300 like other knights or whatever they have there? You know what a bloodbath, brother? I'm doing a little politician myself. And do you know what a bloodbath that could get to? And you bring religion into politics? You can leave it. You don't have to go in on that.
I would say, but I would say something that is horrendous on the Catholic part. So I just don't want to.
Well, it's at the end of the day. Like I said,
how much does he tithe? Okay, cool. He's in top 10. Like how many hallelujahs does he say? How many choir boys has he got on his roster? Oh wow, wow.
Our Pope's got 13 Ferraris.
Yeah, 13. Oh my. Oh wow. Oh.
He's looking to add another one.
How many famous people does he know? Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, and that's the thing is what's crazy about the Vatican is the Vatican has a king too. right?
Yeah.
They have a king. So
Well,
the
you know
Pope,
they have their own police too. You know that, right?
yeah, the
It's
Pope is
crazy.
the holy dude. I think that the Pope is
We're at
the
40
Holy
minutes.
See.
40
Yeah,
minutes.
we're going 45. We'll go 45 and we'll cut it off. The Pope is the Holy See
Yeah.
and has a seat at the UN.
So here's my argument, all right? Since we're all talking about this and you're telling me
Go
all
ahead.
these great things about the Catholics, didn't God?
No, not Catholics. Say the Vatican, because that's
Vatican.
there's some good Catholic people in Ohio and Texas. I know.
All right,
you.
this is what I'm going to argue, right? Didn't
ahead.
God say that there's no idol before him?
It-
How
that-
did they
it-
get
that-
around that?
Yeah, you know,
How
I'm
did they
sorry
get
that
it?
we had to go to spiritual mode. Yes.
Well, I'm just saying it's just funny that we talk about how the great things about the Catholics, which they are, they have spread the wealth of Christianity in the Bible and stuff. But
Yeah.
they also persecuted our good Lord,
Yeah,
hung him on a cross, but then they still get idolized.
In
I mean,
the
you got
Vatican
them guys
still,
kissing his feet and stuff. It's like, wait, I don't think
the
God
Vatican
wanted that.
the Vatican still has all the artwork from Nazi Germany. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy to me how nobody's like, hey man, can we just have our artwork back?
Do you understand they have I think 12 levels of sin? So if you kiss,
Brother,
if you commit
there's
adultery,
one.
if you steal, if you it's so but in the Bible it says every sin is the same sin in God's eyes.
Thank
Like,
you.
there's no difference.
Praise God.
But in their belief, it's whatever. Look.
Yeah, religion's
I'm
a
glad you're on our side, but
at the end of the day, religion is, we're not talking about this from a standpoint of religion. We're talking about maybe religion, faith. Good point.
Yeah,
We're just talking about the Vatican and how it's crazy how even America airs this out of like, man, you know, Francis, you just passed away and da da da. I'm like, dude, tied up in some bad business. I mean, it's always kind of been tied up in bad business.
You know how the Roman Empire fell, right? Because they were selling indulgences, like, hey, give me money and you'll go to heaven. So there was corruption within the Eastern and Western Byzantine Empire, which is the Roman Empire. And
you look at you doing your history lesson.
Well, no, I took a class in college. Not saying I paid. But so there was corruption. Anyways, I'm just saying that's how they all fell, is because there was they didn't stand to their morals and values, like we've been talking about morals and values in their character, and they started indulging in their own interest.
Well, look, and this is what we'll say to summarize this podcast: is we've talked a little bit about how people get so rich and they lose their sense of mind. You as a person morally, you got to find you got to find your own, like, don't ever look to man. Don't ever look to somebody look, find it within you. And then whatever that is, you take that and you believe in that and you build. Look, if you're watering a plant and it's not growing, you may need to look at some stuff. Okay. You look, for instance, me and my friend over here, Slappy O'Connor, we've been friends for a long time. Why? Because when we talk, it gives me a little water and I grow. I grow in belief in I can do this, or I grow in belief that whatever. And I hope in return, I do the same for him and build him up in certain areas where maybe, that's the whole point of life. That's the whole point of being a man. That's what we try to highlight on this topic. We love cracking jokes, but we also love talking common sense and how to be better men, And that's what we hope you can get from the show. Now, granted, we have some hot takes, we have some opinions, but at the end of the day, we want you guys to, chime in, say, what do you think? What is your look in on, say, common sense? Would you eat that cat log?
Yeah, would you eat that? So tomorrow, when you're going through there and getting a $3 candy bar, which is ridiculous, by the way, candy bar is $3, but
I'm gonna post a picture this week. I'm gonna say which one's the payday, and it's gonna be one Kopi Luwak coffee, and one's gonna be an actual naked payday.
I love it.
So y'all can judge it. But at the end of the day, Jason in Ohio, he got Shedeur Sanders. You got to feel
Miami
good about it. Tampa Bay had a good draft. Took your boy from up north, Ibuka. You can't complain. We're probably off to play some Call of Duty. Warzone's trash right now. I just have to throw that out there. If you don't believe me, go to Ninja's streams and he'll tell you. And I heard a streamer say the other day how bad the actual sound is. Like you just hear footsteps like from a mile away, and you think they're right on you, or they're right on you, and you didn't even know it. It's just bad sound. So that's just a little 2 cents on the COD topic logic. At the end of the day, Peach and Smee, everybody go wish if you know Smee, go wish him and his newborn baby and his lovely wife congratulations. Guys, it was a joy. We love doing podcasts. We've just been tied up. We've been busy, and fatherhood strikes every day, and we try to be responsible fathers. So, Slappy, you give them something to go out on, and then we'll bless them away.
Hey, appreciate you guys spending time with us. For everybody that's even up listening to this, but we appreciate it. Also, when you guys cuddle with somebody that you care for and stuff, just realize that you're probably drooling on their hair when they wake up. Have a good one.
Hey, God bless you. Peach and Smee, we'll see you in a couple weeks. We always love you. If you don't know us, or if you haven't yet, like, share, and subscribe. And, don't forget to comment, because we love hearing your feedbacks. Other than that, God bless you. Until next time, boys, we'll see you there.
Hey.
Slappy, it's been real.
Hey, have a good one.
Yes, sir.
See you in